Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Toby, I'm a fiber artist and a cosplayer, and welcome to my Madoka vlog. I'm so excited, as you can tell. I started crocheting Madoka in February 2025. It's been a year. But the vlog is finally here. Just to kind of give you an overview of what we're doing, this video is literally just about the top of the Madoka cosplay. I will be creating other videos in terms of the skirt, the accessories, and the weapon. I don't know how many videos I'm going to create, simply because I yap too much, as you can kind of see. So the videos are really long, which I think it's great. You know, I love speaking, I love creating content. That's why I started the YouTube channel. So that's fine, but it just means there's going to be multiple videos and they're probably going to be long as well. But yeah, this is just, it's not a tutorial or anything. It's more of a guide. So if you want to make your own Madoka cosplay, this would have, I guess, like tips or like things that I did to help with my cosplay that you could also use for your cosplay, or any other cosplay that you're making, or if you want to crochet a dress, I guess that's similar, that would also work as well. If you do, please tag me. I would absolutely love to see it. My social media is literally Toby Crochets on all platforms. But yeah, let's get into the video. Let's do it. I have been extremely motivated for quite some time, but Anime District is having their Magical Girls Night, and so I'm gonna create something. You know, I just remembered I have free will. I can do what I want. I'm gonna create something. I have decided to cosplay one of my favorite characters from Madoka Magica. I can't remember the full name. Anyways, I watched it like years ago and it was one of my favorites. I literally have all the colors for the yarn, so let's see how this goes. These are my yarn colors as well. We have a pale yellow for like the corset bit, the pink for the bows, the pink for like the main part of the body and like the skirt, white for like the underskirt as well. Let's get into it. Guess I just discovered she had actually made something similar to the Madoka Magica cosplay. So like, I already have a base to work with. It's not the right colors, so I'm going to remake it, but like, I can literally use my pattern notes. I'm so excited! Okay, so I've drawn my extremely crude idea of what I want it to look like. I usually use this book. It has like 200 different crochet stitches and I get to pick which stitch I want to use, and then I will get started. I've made like a couple of swatches. This is how the spider stitch looks like with like single crochets. This is how it looks like with half double. I also have this beautiful star stitch, which I'm probably going to use for part of the top. And then I also have these. I do not know what these are called. I was just messing around. I think they're like linked stitches. This is the double crochet of it, and this is the half double. The half double has too many gaps for me, so I'm going to go with this double for like the main part of the top. And yeah, these are the different stitches I'm going to be using to make it. This took me 1 hour to figure out all these stitches and like get them all together. Don't know why it took me so long, but yeah, let's actually finally start crocheting. I got up to here before I realized that it's too long, so now I have to loosen it all and start again from the beginning, and hopefully next time I would have the right measurements. So this is what I was able to complete yesterday. This took me about, I want to say like an hour and a half, 2 hours to do. I was procrastinating a lot. I kind of did it so this part is kind of straight and then it has like a like a curve, because I didn't want to make it, usually when I'm making panels I just tend to make it straight, but I thought if I did that for this piece then the back wouldn't be flattering, and then I'll have a kind of like gap in the middle here since this is larger and my hips are larger than my waist, so I didn't want it to have gaps and then it won't look as nice as I want it to be. So I'm shaping it and I'm going to increase while I continue my back panel so that everything kind of comes together and it looks actually nice on me. I'm gonna go to a cafe to crochet for kind of like a change of pace, but I'm so excited for this. Like, I literally can't wait. It's been like 3 days since I last recorded, but I've finished literally one ball of yarn and this is where I'm at so far. I'm too excited, so I'm going to practice on making the heart for the top part of the back panel, and then I'm going to continue the back panel and then do the heart in the middle, but I'm going to try the heart right now because I'm impatient and I can't wait. Hopefully I can finish this in the next 2 days because I have a month and I have like a month and a half left and I need to complete this. So I will now diligently work on this. It's been a few days since my last update. I finally finished the back panel. I'm still deciding if I want to kind of add wire to the heart hair, but I'm literally so happy with how this came out. Like, the heart is perfect. Other like pieces that I've seen that have been crocheted with like a cutout heart, they all kind of go this way, and so because I already started my piece this way, I was like, how am I going to do the cutout heart part? But I made it work. I am ridiculously proud of myself for this heart. Like, look how clean it looks. It's perfect. Like, I cannot stop speaking about how much I love this heart part. Like, I'm actually so impressed. I'm so proud of myself. So I've already started on the front panel pieces as well. This is half of the left panel. Basically, I followed the decreases and increases that I did for the back panel on the side, and then I made this part straight. I'm gonna put a picture here of how it looks so you can kind of get the vision, but I'm doing the left panel first. So now I'm gonna use this yarn, yellow, wow, use yellow to do this part here, and I'm going to have like a V at the top so that way it kind of goes like that and then it comes all the way down. Then I also need to buy some buttons as well so that I can add them to the yellow part. I will give you guys an update once I've finished this panel and then when I make my second panel as well. I'm running so behind on time, but we're gonna make it work somehow. This is the white yarn that I'm using for the bottom parts of the front panel. It's this, like, I think it's weight 1 acrylic yarn that I'm double pulling, so they're like 2 strands, and then I wound everything together. I'm using the star stitch. I don't know if you can see it, but it's so beautiful. Like, I literally cannot. Usually I make all my pieces in single crochets because I'm like, oh, I don't like how it looks when I use like double crochets or even half double sometimes because of like the gaps. But I feel like the texture of this, it's so delicious. Like, I'm not even mad. Can we just have just a moment to appreciate the beauty of this stitch? Genuinely cannot get over it. Look at it. Just look. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so I finally, I need to block this when I'm done. But I finally finished the left panel. Now I'm just going to single crochet at the top here with the white yarn and then single crochet on top here with the yellow yarn. And then once I add the buttons, this panel is like actually finally done, which I'm really excited about. Okay, so this is how it is looking so far. So it covers obviously the left side of my chest, the front panel. Before adding the buttons, I'm going to start doing the right side just so I can see how they meet, and then I will do the buttons. So I'm going to do that and show you guys how I did this part, this yellow part, because I realized I did not explain anything. I was crocheting away, and yeah. Alright, so boom. I still have my pink yarn attached. Basically, I obviously did the right panel like the way I did the back panel, so it flares out a little bit towards my hip. So that's how like one side is, and then this other side is literally just straight. And this part that's straight, I'm going to do single crochets along it. Initially I did one single crochet it for each row, but because of the star stitch, it tends to like pull the piece together, and so I alternated between 2 single crochets in one row and then 1 single crochet in the next row, and kind of alternated that all the way to the end, which I will do, and then I will come back. It took me like 20 minutes, but no, wrong way. Wait a minute. Oh my god! I did it on the wrong side. Oh my god. It took me like 20 minutes. I did it on the part that was curved instead of the straight side. So now I have to loosen that and redo it again. I'm not built for this. I'm not built for this. There's literally nothing better than watching other people crochet and crocheting, especially crochet cosplays. Like, this is literally the life. Anyways, I have finally finished. I single crocheted on the right side this time, and now I will show you how I did the yellow part. Before I actually even show you how I did the yellow part, let me show you something. Basically, yeah, so I was using this red pen to tick off like on my notes, because I used my black pen initially for one panel and then the red pen to indicate for like the second panel, so I could see what I was doing. And then I found out that it literally stained my piece. I was literally so sick, like, what do you mean? Fortunately for me, it is on the back side and not like on the right side. Unfortunately for me, it did also stain my bed. I don't even know if this is going to come out. I look like I had a horrible nosebleed. I am so upset because what do you mean? Once again, I am not God's strongest soldier. I can't. Anyways, moving on onto how I made the yellow part. Basically, we've done our single crochet. So the tutorial I followed to make the star stitch said that you needed to have an odd number of rows. However, when I was making mine, I found out that you're meant to have an even number. So I'm not entirely sure. I have an odd number anyways, because I'm just going to repeat what I did on my other panel. But watch a star stitch tutorial to find out whether you need an odd and even amount of stitches, and then kind of go from there. But I'm going to keep mine an odd amount because of how I did my other panel. And what I'm going to do is, so basically, you know how you have the front loops and you have like the back loops, like you can see the V. I don't know if you can see this. I hope it is focusing. So we're only going to work into the back loop when we're making this. And the front loop we're going to leave because we're going to have the frill is going to be worked into that front loop. So I'm going to do my first row of the star stitch in only the back loop of the part that we just single crocheted right now. So actually I have somewhere that I need to go to, so I'm just going to quickly explain this. But I did my first row using my yellow yarn, obviously. I did my first row of my star stitch in that back loop. And if you look at this part here, you can see there's kind of like this line. So that is the front loop that we'll be working our frills into. But for the top part, where like my bust is, I did decreases on the edge of the rose hair. So with the star stitch, you have the stitch where you're doing the star, and then the second row, you have like just single crochets. In that second row, which is the single crochet row, those were the rows that I did my decreases in. And that's what I'm going to do on the right panel. I would recommend doing your left panel first, because that way when you're doing the right panel and you want to make like the holes for the buttons, it's easier to calculate it if you know how many stitches will be left. But yeah, so I'm taking a bit of a break from the top to work on the bow. I have like this bow that I used for one of my first ever cosplays in 2021 or something. So I'm using it as kind of like a gauge on how I want this bow to look for Madoka. I put it on and it kind of looks like that. Oh my god, it looks horrible. It's too long, and I think Madoka's bow is more fluffy. So I'm going to make it a bit shorter than this and make it more, I don't know how to explain it, but it needs more poof. I'm going to use this as a guideline and make hers and see how that goes. I finished doing the yellow part for the second panel, which is my right panel. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. As you can see, it has like the decrease as well. The decrease looks so much nicer for some reason than it did on the left panel. Like, it looks very smooth, and if you can kind of see it. But obviously I'm going to do the same thing once I do the white part here in terms of single crocheting on top. So I guess it doesn't really matter. And for the middle row of the white part, I'm going to do my buttonholes. I'm going to attach my buttons to the other panel first so that I can know where I want to have my buttons. And then I'm going to do the white part, and I will show you when it's done before I decide to join the back panel and the front panels together. And then I can finally put it on and see how it looks, which I'm extremely excited about. Like, finally I can wear something. It's been exactly 28 days since I started this project, and I have not a lot to show, but we're gonna make this work, you know? We're going to somehow finish this before the 30th of March. Like, I believe in myself. I can somehow do this. Initially, I was going to use like this kind of lighter pink for the yarn. Wow, for the bow. For Madoka's like big bow's hair. So she has a bow, 2 bows on her head, and she has 2 bows on her dress. I only have this one ball of yarn, and I was like, that's definitely not going to be enough. But also the difference between this and the pink I'm using for like the bust and for part of the skirt, I don't feel like there's that much difference in like the shades of it. This is not given. Also, let me show you like the difference between this and the pink that I have. This is the pink yarn that I'm originally using, and this is this. Like, the difference is not that much, so I'm not using it. Instead, I'm going to use this, because if you look at it, you can actually see the difference. I feel like it's going to look so much better with this. This is merino yarn, which my skin actually does not like, so I'm only going to be using it for the bows and nothing else, and I have 3 balls of it, I think. I'm going to double strand them because it's quite thin. And also, if I double strand it, then I wouldn't need to like put a wire in the bow or anything like that to make it stand. Like, it's just going to make it like thicker and actually properly stay up. Oh, it's such a nice pink. Look at it. And I will be back. I feel like I just keep on coming back with like random ass updates, and you haven't even actually seen me crochet that much. And that is simply because I only have time to crochet after work, and the lighting is absolutely atrocious. Even right now, I'm on break from work. Like, I have very limited time when I'm not at work to actually crochet between going to work and like doing other things like seeing my friends or like going out for like things or like creating content. There's not enough time. So we're gonna see how this goes. Try and do all of this, and I will give an update when it is the 1st of March. And I wanted to finish the top part before the 1st of March. That is impossible now, but if I can finish the front and back panels and sew them together today, that would be really nice. Okay, yeah, wish me luck. So I'm in the process of sewing the buttons, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna sew some buttons. It's going to take me, oh, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes to sew all the buttons. But for some reason, it's so much harder than expected, because what kind of, I've never had to sew buttons that look like this. It's such an odd shape to sew, and I know it's because of how it is with having like the gem at the front, but why is it so hard to sew on? It's so finicky and like weird and complex. I don't even know how I'm doing this, but hopefully, obviously, because I'm using white yarn, you would not be able to see it. So this is taking much longer than I expected. But yeah, I'm gonna get these done now. So I was only able to, unfortunately, sew on 2 buttons. I didn't give up, but I kind of just got tired with it. I did end up finishing the other panel and making the holes as well for the buttons to go into. And then once I add the remaining 4 buttons for this would be complete. And then I can finally start joining things together. I started making the bow, but I made this too short, so now I have to loosen it and start again. I think it's because I didn't make a swatch, But the thing is that every time I make swatches, it doesn't matter anyways, my calculations are still wrong. My calculations are, quite frankly, most of the time wrong. So I have to like redo it and remeasure that first row at least like 2 to 3 times with every piece that I make, because I'm just not good at maths. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not a maths girly. So I'm going to start this again. I realized that I have literally just been recording like a lot of very short clips, but I haven't actually like properly spoken to you guys. I don't even know if I explained this earlier because I've been so like all over the place, but I'm crocheting this for a Magical Girl event. It's by Anime District. Last year I went to like their Nana party, and that was the best party I went to, hands down, last year. It was literally incredible. So I'm extremely excited for this Magical Girl party. I have been taking it slow with my crocheting. Usually I tend to just hyperfixate, and then I just like crochet continuously. I forget to eat, I forget to sleep, because I'm just like crocheting and crocheting and crocheting and crocheting, and usually watching something, because I need to also watch things. I can't just like crochet or like listen to music or something. I can't just like crochet in silence. That sounds absolutely horrible for me. My brain literally would not let me, like the neurodiversity said no. There was something I was just saying right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have no idea. You know, it's so funny because every time I'm about to sleep, I remember all the things I want to say on video, and then as soon as I'm on video, boom, nothing in my head. Everything has gone. I have no thoughts. I was saying that I was taking my time with crocheting because my fingers have been hurting. Not even because I've been like crocheting a lot. I think that my lupus is just flaring up, and so my knuckles have been like hurting as well. So I've been trying to take my time when crocheting, which is why it's also taken me so long to reach anywhere. However, I do have a backup plan in case I do not finish the entirety of like the dress. One thing I have learned quite early on, and from mostly always having to con crunch before an event or before like con obviously, is that always have a second plan, because if not, you are going to stress yourself out and it's going to take the fun out of making the thing, because it's like, oh, I'm just making this because I have to complete it before this day kind of thing. The second plan is, if I at least finish the top of Madoka, then I can just wear like a white skirt, and like I have a petticoat as well, so I could just wear that underneath the skirt, and that would still be like exactly how it's meant to be. It would just be, instead of me crocheting the skirt. So that is my backup plan. I'm trying to finish it on time, but if I do not, that'll be the backup plan. And then I will try and finish it for Comic-Con, which will be in May. So that way I would have April and May to work on it, and I should be able to finish it by then. This is my first crochet dress that I am making. Before, like previously, a dress was just something that I was like, I will never make a dress. I will never crochet a dress. You cannot pay me to crochet a dress. But here I am crocheting my first dress. I think it was just that with dresses, it just seemed so long, and it's like, why would I do that to myself? And that's exactly how I also feel with like blankets as well. It's like, just buy a blanket. Why would I crochet a blanket? This is for me, like personally. Saying that though, when I made my Zenitsu Haori, which I'll put a picture of here as well, the entirety of the back panel, because of how long it is, was basically a blanket. So I made a single crochet blanket anyways. So I don't feel like there's much difference, but for some reason, when I just have it in my head, I'm going to crochet a blanket, my brain is just like, absolutely not. That's where I draw the line. I feel like I'm not making much progress, so I'm going to go continue this, and I will be back with an update soon. Wait, also, today is March 1st. I should have finished the entirety of the top by now. I have not, but today I'm holding myself to this. Today I'm going to sew the front and back panels together and make sure those are complete, and then start working on the sleeves at least, so that way in like a week I can finish both of the sleeves and then start working on the skirt. And somehow we're gonna make this, you know, come together, because I still have, obviously I'm doing the bows as well. I still do have to do the part for like the socks as well, and I do still have to do the bow on the shoes. So this is gonna be long, but we're gonna make it work somehow. We're gonna make it work. I have finally finished sewing on my buttons. Yay! Also, I was being like really dramatic earlier. Sewing the buttons were perfectly fine. I think I was just confused at first because I was like, what even is this? But yeah, I finally sewn on all of my buttons and so far it is looking amazing. I'm actually really pleased with how it's coming out. I do have like very tiny like things in terms of this is backwards instead of like the stitches like facing me, but I don't really actually care about that. I'm really happy with how everything's turning out so far, and now I'm going to attach this to the back panel and then it will finally be time for our first try on. Oh my god. Sorry about the terrible lighting, but this is how it is looking on. We also have like the back as well. I think that I'm going to definitely going to add that wire to the back because the heart looks a little misshapen. I don't know if you can kind of see it. Yeah, but I'm really like, I cannot express how happy I am with the shaping here. So like from the bust to the waist, I think it came out perfectly. It fits me perfectly and there's no like gaps here around the waist or anything like that as they usually like would be if I just did it as like a square panel. So I'm like extremely happy with this. It is a teeny bit too big, which is kind of crazy because most of my crochet pieces are usually a little bit too small, but I think I was really conscious of that for this, so I don't mind. I think it's perfect. I'm so happy with how it's coming out so far. I'm going to do the sleeves, and where it stops here is perfect and the skirt's going to kind of flare out from here. I was thinking about making the skirt detachable so I could just wear this on its own if I wanted to, just like casually. We're going to see how that plays out. But yeah, this is it on. Can you tell how happy and excited I am? Like, this is great. I can't believe like I actually made this. Obviously it's not staying up because there are no like straps or anything yet, but she's eating. She's given what she was meant to give. I just came back to say that I added itch markers while I was wearing it to see where I want the sleeves to be. So I've done a stitch marker at the front and then calculated how many stitches were between this stitch marker and the line between the front and the back panel. I think that's the best way to describe it. Yeah, so I calculated how many stitches were between the stitch marker and the line between like the back and the front panel, and then I replicated that on the back panel and then did it for this second side as well, so that way everything looks equal and the sleeves actually come out nice. And I'm going to add some elastic in the sleeves as well, just to make them more secure. I'll show you the elastic. This is the elastic I would be using. I got it from Poundland. And I'm basically just going to tie the elastic on and then single crochet around it and then continue my stitches for like the sleeves. And I'm going to do some puff sleeves. So I'm going to do increases and then I'm going to do decreases and do the band and flare it out. I hope it works. I don't think I've done this before, so we're gonna see how it goes. Basically, we're just trusting the process. We're trusting the process for real. Okay, so I just finished doing like my skincare routine, and I'm like getting ready for bed. Just about to do like my last crochet stretch of the night before I sleep. And I was just re-looking at the picture of Madoka, and I realized that I might have overestimated myself because she has a lot of like little pieces, and every time I keep on mentioning, oh, I have this to do, I have this to do, not once have I mentioned I need to make gloves. For some reason, my brain completely skipped the fact that I need to make gloves. So I'm gonna put a picture here so you can see it again. So I have 2 bows on the hair to make. I have 2 bows on the dress to make. Obviously I need to do the bottom part of the dress, which is fine. I also have to do the sleeves. I do also have to make gloves. And then I've gotten socks that are similar to what she has, but I don't like the top detail of it. So I need to remake those and then sew it onto the socks. And then I also then need to do bows for her shoes. And I also need to do the bow for her choker. And when I make the list like that, like it just seems like there's no way I can complete this in time. Like if I wasn't working full time, maybe like I could seriously, give it a try. I like pulling it off, but I might have to go to the backup plan. I don't think I will have time to make the gloves, so I'm just gonna put the gloves to the side. I think that I'm going to obviously finish the top. I might have to do my plan B of having like just a white skirt. I'm gonna do the bows and then I'm going to take it from there. So I think that way it would also make me feel less anxious and less panicky about the fact that I have 30 days to make it. So I'm going to just focus on the top half and see how that goes. And then if I'm able to finish this in like 2 weeks, I'll give the skirt a go. Like at least the pink part of the skirt a go and see if I can finish that in time. I think that's the plan for now. So yeah, that's the update. I'm realizing how delusional I was being. That's basically the update. I'm going to go finish off my crocheting for tonight. And I also forgot, I need to add frills. I need to add frills on the top as well, and also frills like around the front and the back panel. So that's also something I need to do, which is why I do not think I'll complete this in time. I was fooling myself. It is literally like 12 midnight and I am losing in my sleeve because I'm not happy with the results. I did like a poll on my Instagram broadcast channel and everyone thinks it looks okay. I did also get like some feedback for some people, so like DM'd me their thoughts as well. And I think I'm just going to make some adjustments to the bottom part of the sleeve just because I'm not happy with how it looks. I know that, you know, things might not be exactly perfect, but I think that I can make a little bit of adjustment so that it at least kind of looks more like what I want it to look. I should probably sleep, but I'm going to try and fix this instead, so let's go. Hi guys, it's been like, I want to say at least a week since my last update. A lot has gone on. I've been like really sick. Like I had to even call in sick to work. I have still been working on the top. I've nearly finished making one of the sleeves. Basically, I finished the puff part. I did not like how it was looking. I felt like it looked a bit too puffy and it didn't curve in the exact way that Madoka's one did. If you look at Madoka's sleeve, it has a curve and then it has like a bigger curve, kind of like two kind of like puffs. And with that, that's what I tried to like emulate with my sleeve, but it didn't look like that. So it just ended up looking weird. So I ended up losing in like I ended up losing like the last 15 rows of it. But I did not want to lose in the entire sleeve because the sleeve on its own took me like 15 hours and I hadn't even finished it. So I just refused to like start it from the beginning. So I'm currently remaking that first sleeve, and then when I'm going to make the second sleeve, I will then show you guys the process of it. I just feel like it's easier for me to actually finish making, especially when I'm making like two or something. It's so much easier for me to figure it out on my own off camera, and then when I'm doing the second one, then I will like show you guys like how to do it. But I'm going to try and finish the sleeve and then show you how everything is looking. I have like 17 days till the event, and that is not a lot of time. Obviously, I'm not doing the skirt anymore. I don't know if I have time for the bows, but I'm going to obviously try and finish the top. Because I'm not crocheting the skirt at this point in time, I'm going to show you what I'm using as like a substitute. I bought like these bloomers from Depop, which there was water on the floor. Water spilled and I forgot to clean it. Okay, moving on. I got these bloomers from Depop. I'm so in love with them. I've wanted white bloomers for like the longest time. So this is what I'm going to wear instead of the skirt. I'm going to finish the first sleeve and then I'm gonna come back because yeah, this is really, it's taken every fiber of my being to hang in there to do this, to complete this. So I've been rewatching Madoka Magica. I've watched it before, but I completely forgot what's happened. But I remember that I really, really enjoyed it. So I've been rewatching it and I have like 2 episodes left. And can I just say that it is incredible, show-stopping. It's like if, how do I explain this? For me, it's like if Attack on Titan, like, you know, like the kind of shock of Attack on Titan, and if the trauma from watching Nana, if they came together and they made it gay. That's what Madoka Magica is giving me. Like, it's incredible. Like, it's in my top 10 favorite animes. Like, it was for a while, but then I hadn't watched it in so long, I kind of forgot why it was, but incredible. My motivation to complete this has just gone through the roof. I fear I have a new hyperfixation, unfortunately or fortunately, you know, because I'm creating something extremely cool. So fortunately, absolutely incredible. I'm so excited. I feel like I have even more ideas for the cosplay, and there's like more things that I want to add. Initially, I was going to enter a cosplay masquerade for the first time this year. I was like, I don't care what it is, I'm just gonna enter, you know. And initially I was meant to make an Armin cosplay from Attack on Titan to enter. But now that I've been like doing this Madoka cosplay and I have more motivation for it, and I've also had like so many ideas and so many things I can bring together, I feel like this might have to be my entry for the cosplay masquerade. I might just have to do it. Like this might be what I enter with. Obviously, I'm putting a lot of work into it, but it always feels like, so basically with the cosplay masquerade, you need to have 70% of your cosplay like handmade, and usually I don't feel like I have up to 70%. But if I'm making the entire dress and like the accessories, I feel like that's like 70% of the cosplay. So I might actually use this to enter. I'm heavily debating it. If I do, I'll like film my whole experience because it'll be my first time and I know nothing about nothing. But I extremely excited for this. Like, I spent 4 hours last night instead of sleeping. Around like 2 a.m. I was just going through different Madoka cosplays like online and like looking up the lore, and just, I'm cooked. I'm actually cooked because I've been doing a little too much. Like when you really like something and you're just all viewing a lot of things for it, and then before you know it, all your social media is about that one specific thing, because everything just links up and you just start to see it everywhere without fail. That's exactly what's happening to me. But it will make my cosplay better, like the more information I have. And I've been researching a lot about how I want things to look specifically and what I need to make things look the specific way I want it to look. Like in terms of like the skirt and the petticoat and da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, enough yapping. Let me go finish my sleeve so I can actually show you guys how one sleeve looks. Yeah, I just came to say, go watch Madoka Magica if you haven't watched it. Like, what are you waiting for? Go. It's so good. Hi guys, I'm back again with an update. This is what I have so far. So I finally redid the sleeve, so we have like this puff, and I've done the red part. I need to do like the little kind of like flared bit for the sleeve. Initially I was just going to do a normal flare with like double crochets, but I rewatched Madoka Magica, and in one of the screenshots that I took, there was like a little crochet kind of lace bit, so I've decided to use that for the edging of the sleeve's hair. I've never done lace crochet. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to wing it and see if it works. So I'm learning a new skill, which is like really cool. Till then, I'm going to start the second sleeve so that way they can at least be like on the same level. So to start my sleeve, what I did was, so I wore the piece and I marked out where I wanted my sleeve to be. So what I also did was I was wearing a bra when I did it, and I marked where my bra strap started here and like where it ended, and that kind of gave me a gauge for like where to put the stitch markers so that it actually like fits and stays and the sleeves don't like fall off, or the sleeves do not hold the top together, if that makes sense. So after marking that, I got my elastic and I basically tied the elastic to the front and tied it to the back. When I measured it, it should be 13 inches, but I removed 1 inch to make it 12. Looking back, if I was to redo it, I would probably remove another inch to make it 11, just because the elastic's going to stretch over time and I want it to be like tight. Not like tight like it's suffocating, but tight like it's not going to move, you know? So I'm gonna do 12 because that's what I did on the other sleeve, but I would say you should probably remove like 2 inches. So I literally attach this to the stitch here. I used my hook to just kind of pull it through because my elastic is too big. So I literally tied it here, just like made a knot. And then I measured 12 inches and then like an extra like 2 inches so I can tie it to the back panel, basically. So mine basically measures 14 from there, and then I just cut it off. And then I tie it to the back panel and I put it into the stitch the same way I did the front panel, which is using my hook. People, 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 people. Oh, is that right? So I've attached my elastic by literally tying it to the front and the back panel. And now all I'm going to do is single crochet around this elastic so that it ends up looking like this. And then I'm going to do 3 rows of pink. And then I start this monstrosity of a sleeve. This took me, the last time I calculated it was 15 hours, but I do not know if when I remade it, it was 15 hours as well, but we will find out. I'm so happy with how this sleeve turned out. I really did not like how it looked before. So yeah, I'm going to get started on the sleeve. So I've done my first row of single crochets around the elastic band. I just kind of left this here because last time I tried to tuck it in and it looked awful. So I'm just going to find some way to kind of like sew that into the inside here so that you can't see it. So now I'm just working on my second row and I'm just literally decreasing in like every 2 stitches. And then for the last row of the pink part, I'm going to just, once I reach this part, I'm gonna go back and then crochet along here as well, all in the back loop, because for the front loop I'll be putting frills in it. So I'm just gonna do that. And then once I finish with that last row of pink, I'm going to attach my white yarn and basically do 2 double crochets in every stitch around the shoulder area. And then for this part here, I'm just going to do normal double crochets. I'm not going to do increases here because that's the bottom part of my arm and like I don't need the creases there. So I'm just going to do that. And then once I get halfway, I'm going to increase again so that I get my second puff on the sleeve. And yeah, I'm just going to do all of that and I will be back with like an update in like a few days because the last one took me so long, so many days. I hate sleeves. I hate the factory sleeves that you literally finish one sleeve and then you have to do it again, the exact same thing again, a second time. It's just so, it's so infuriating. Like, why do I have to do this again? I hate sleeves, I truly do. I have finished the pink part and I also went into the back loop here for the front and back panels. And now I'm going to attach my white yarn. Because I'm working in the round and you're going to have like that seam, I'm going to attach it so like that seam is at the back. So I'm going to, which is here actually, so I'm going to attach it here as this is the back panel and then work in the round so this seam is at the back so you can't really see it for the top. I've literally had like no time at all to update you, but this is how it's coming along so far. I've done this sleeve. I had to like loosen the red part and redo it again because it was too tight, but now it's perfect. And then we have this sleeve as well. The sleeves are actually like quite heavy. I used very thin yarn and I doubled it. And so, unfortunately, even though I used elastic, the sleeves are still falling down. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an elastic but like clear strap and have that on the back. Usually people like have crochet threads and then like they sew it, but I don't want it to be obvious that there's something there. So I'm going to try doing that once I finish making this sleeve. And then I will hopefully that will make it stand up, you know, because I refuse to have my sleeves falling down the entire time. It is also the 22nd, which means I have like 9 days, 10 days to finish the top, and I still have the sleeve to do, obviously. I have the frills to do. I did want to make the hair bows as well, but I have like literally 9 days. So whatever happens, I will, if I have to wear the top like this, I'm going to wear the top like this, you know? It's the thought. It's the thought that counts, not the fact that I actually finished the top. So I'm gonna just go ahead with this and we're gonna see how it goes, really and truly. That's it. This is my last update. It is the day of the event, the Magical Girl event, and I have not finished my top. Basically, I had to wash it last night as well because I have been crocheting this thing for like 2 months and it's been with me everywhere. It was absolutely filthy. So I had to wash it last night and let it dry, and now I'm going to try and complete what I can because it's literally the day of the event. So this is how it's looking so far. For the first sleeve, I've done the white part and like this little red part here. There is like that other flared bit, but I did not have time to do that, so I need to come back to that later. I finished the white part for the second sleeve. I just need to do the red part, which should take me like 30 minutes, so it shouldn't be bad. But then I have to do the frills, so you can see like only one side has frills at the front. I need to do that on the second side, which I want to say it should take me 30 minutes as well. There's meant to be another frill like at the top of it, like hair and like hair. If I have time, I will do it. If not, that would be a problem for future Toby when she finishes this top properly. But it's wearable, and I feel like that's what matters, is that I can wear the top and it doesn't look weird, and you know who I'm cosplaying, you know? So that's what I have so far. I did also start on, because Madoka has like a choker, so I made this for the choker. I'm also in the process of making the bow, but I do not think I will have time to finish it. If I do not have time, I will just wear this. And you know what? You can tell what I'm doing. You can tell what I'm going for, and that's okay. So usually when I make like these, I usually do like a tie back. This time I wanted something a bit more secure and something a bit more, I guess, professional looking in a way, like in terms of like fit wise. So I used a 2mm hook and I used single crochets, and it just kind of looks really nice and like seamless. I love it so much. I'm also using a magnetic clasp as well, so that way I can just clasp it like that and it actually stays, and I feel like it just makes it look, you know, really elegant, really professional. I don't know if I'm just hyping myself up, but I'm really proud that I thought of this. So I'm going to do this, and when I eventually make the bow, I'm going to attach it to hair, so that way when I just clasp it like this, the bow is just automatically on the back, which I think would look so nice and so cute and so easy. Nothing's moving about, you know, it's just perfect, and it looks perfect at all times, and that's what I like to see, because sometimes you move around a lot and things shift and then they don't look nice no more. But I want to try to make this look nice no matter how much I'm moving, you know? Because there's a literal ball pit at this event. There's a ball pit. If I'm jumping into the ball pit, I don't want to come out and like everything is just kind of skewered and hanging off and I just look weird. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't even know if I have time to finish the bow, so it might not even matter. But I'm gonna try and finish that. I have like 2-3 hours before I have to start getting ready because I need to do my makeup and everything else. I am so stressed right now, but that's okay. That is the joy of cosplaying and the con crunch, except it's the event crunch. So I'm going to go do this, and yeah, look forward to the reveal. Finally, it's been 2 months. There are so many things that I feel like I could have done better, but when I see the whole piece together, it actually doesn't even matter to me. Like, I'm actually so happy with it. But, you know, final update, when I finish this and I wear everything together. I was also working on the hair bows in this video, but I nowhere near done with that, so I'm just gonna use like ribbons in my hair for now. Hi guys, I actually completely forgot to record anything in terms of my thoughts and like feelings of almost finishing the top for like when I wore it and stuff like that. So it's been like a week since the event and I've literally just been like going to work and just lying down in bed and just being like, wow, I'm so tired. But I'm finally back to finally say like, you know, my thoughts and all of that on the top and like the entire outfit. So of a score of 10, I'm going to give myself, I want to say, for how far I've come and the fact that obviously I know I did finish it, so I probably shouldn't be scoring myself at this point, but because I've already worn it out, I feel like I should give myself a score so far. I'm going to give myself like between a 7 and an 8. And the reason why is that even though I am super proud of myself for freehanding the top and, you know, doing everything, and obviously I had to redo the sleeves and all of that, I think it came out pretty well. Everyone who came up to me was like, oh, are you cosplay Madoka? So, you know, they saw the top and they immediately knew who I was cosplaying, so obviously did a good job. But I did not have time to add like the invisible strap at the back of the top, so the sleeves kept on falling, which was extremely annoying. Even though I added the elastic in the sleeve to stop it from falling, I feel like I did not reduce it enough. I think I only reduced it by 1 inch and I should have done maybe 2 or even 3 just to make sure it's properly secure, but I did not do that. So now I have to either find a way to tighten the elastic, because thankfully I haven't like cut it off, so I might try and tighten it, or I might add that invisible strap. I'm going to see which one works better. I believe the invisible strap probably would, but I don't like the idea of having the invisible strap. I don't know. I know it's invisible and you won't be able to like see it at first glance, but it just feels like it's ill-fitting if I have the invisible strap. No one has said this. There's no like, it makes no sense, but I just have that feeling. So I'm going to try opening up the knot of the elastic and tightening it up to see how it looks and fix that. I did not need to end up putting wire in the back heart, which was pretty good. Like, I'm actually really impressed that you can clearly see it's a heart. I almost forgot, but I'm gonna put some pictures. And obviously the sleeves I didn't finish, and I didn't finish the top frills. Yeah, I didn't finish that either, but definitely like a 7 or 8. You know, I'm just gonna give myself like a nice 7.5, like in the middle for it, just because I feel like there are a few things I want to correct. When I do correct them, I do feel like I can give myself, you know, a 9 or a 10, and then the top will obviously be up to scratch once I properly finish it as well. But yeah, I did end up finishing a bit of the choker, so I did have a choker to wear, which was really nice. I didn't end up making my hair pink or anything like that, but I think it was pretty cute, and it was a pretty cute day as well. I had a lot of fun with my friends, and it was a ball pit, which was great. It was a really great event. Like, Anime District truly throws like some of the best events. Every event I go to, I have like so much fun, and everyone is always so nice. So like, I literally went there on my own. I saw my friends later, but I made so many friends. You just have so much fun. I love it. Yeah, I will be back for part 2 when I will be making the other parts of this Madoka cosplay. So come back for part 2 where I hopefully can finish something before the next event, being MCM Comic Con in May. So we're gonna see how this goes. Okay, bye guys.